This is Andy Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm in Doncaster and I'm joined by world champion Josh Warrington. Josh, firstly, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Just enjoyed tonight's boxing. It's been fantastic. You can't beat these small shows. Seeing my stable mate Reece Mould box tonight. Seeing another lad from Leeds pick up an English title, and then just seeing a bit of a barnstormer then between Serge and Jake Goodwin. So it's been a good old night.
Has indeed been a good night. Let's just start off with Reece Mould. What did you make of his performance? He was very critical when I spoke to him just.
Rightly so. I've been critical myself to him, and I did so in the commentary. I just felt that first 3 rounds we were breezing it. He looked really comfortable, and he was boxing. We see glimpses of this real talented Reece Mould in the gym, and then if he gets an opponent who we knows he can hurt, then the boxing goes out the window. And especially if he doesn't respect the power, and I think there were stages of that, after like round 4 and 5, and I think he made it hard work for himself, and I think he could have just made it simple by just taking a step back, but Reece sometimes doesn't know that reverse gear, and I still thought he did alright to get over the line and finish it, but he made hard work for it.
Did get that win in the end, though. And what would you like to see next for him?
I'd like to see him have another fight at this weight, because his first fight at lightweight, and obviously I feel for Reece because this last 12-15 months has been frustrating since he'd lost to Lee Wood. He was straight back in the gym, straight back in the ring, a few months later. But since that, it's been nothing but disappointment. He stepped up weights. First he had an opportunity at super feather that fell through, and he's had quite a few at lightweight, and they've all just fallen through. So to get a bit of momentum under his belt, could do with a bit of an hard fight. The one what's going to give you a kick up your backside. One of them what's going to have that adrenaline pumping every time you think about it, and certainly look at maybe area / maybe English title, something like that.
Josh, coming on to yourself, obviously you're out in December now. Just talked about your fight, your man in the opposite corner, and how you ended up in this position.
Yeah, so got Alberto Lopez. He's my mandatory challenger. He was the mandatory after beating Isaac Lowe. That was coming up to a year ago. It'd be certainly a year ago by the time we fight. It was meant to fight Kiko Martinez, and Kiko was able to get an exemption to fight myself. Obviously, I picked up the title for Kiko, and I think if I'd have come out of that fight without any injuries and unscathed, then I may have been able to get a fight with someone like Lee Wood. But because it's been so long, the IBF can only accept so much. And like I say, it's been a mandatory for over a year now. Well, we will be up to a year. So I've got to fight him. So yeah, take care in Leeds. It's one of them where you don't fucking want to go down that avenue. Not because you want to be fearing, but like it's banana skins when I'm back in a position where unifications and big, domestic title fights. They talk about Lee Wood, Santa Cruz, Navarrete, Ray Vargas. All these big fights are out there, and and you know me, all I want to do is fight in these big fights. I'm not bothered for fucking let's have a steady one at home, and I just want to be in the biggest fights possible. But you've got to take care of the fights like these, and I've learned the hard way when I took my eye off the ball a few years ago against Mauricio Lara, and I paid the price heavily for that. So my full focus is on this one, but with a kind of added incentive where you get through this one, then there is bigger things to come. So not taking it as right, you get through this one, it's a given, but you have to get through this one to be able to go forward. So I'm fully focused on making sure I do the business and do it in style.
I was going to say, people are very much looking forward to your fight because those who work in boxing know, and not just work, but those who follow boxing, especially know how difficult of a challenge Luis Alberto Lopez will pose to you. So, how difficult of a task at hand do you have in front of you?
It's one of them where he came over to fight Isaac and he brought a 20-man entourage. It's like, don't normally get something like that unless people in boxing know they've got a serious contender. Yes, he's been beat before, but he seems to be on a roll. And he's a few years ago boxed off Kiko Flores, and he wasn't expected to really do it, and he's blasted that guy out there, or he beat him up for as long as it went. And Top Rank have just sorted another contract out with him, so they've a lot of faith in his ability. And these are hard fights than any, because they had more pressure. People expect you to do the business, even though you know you've got a dangerous man. You as a fighter, the boxing media know that there could potentially be a dangerous opponent, but some of the paying public, they expect you just to win, and that adds a lot of pressure. Whereas if you're fighting a big name and they know they can be 50-50, then they kind of, right, I hope he does alright, I hope he can win. But when it's something like that, you expect, you'll get this sorted. So, like I say, I won't be taking me off the ball for this one. He's wild, he throws unorthodox punches. And look down his record, I don't think he's shared the same kind of calibre that I've shared the ring with, but I think he knows how to finish guys if he gets them rocking. So, obviously in the last fight, damaged jaw, he'll certainly be looking for that, and he'll certainly think he can do what Michelle Lara did. But fucking another thing coming, hasn't it? It's got another thing coming.
Josh, the reports of Wood Santa Cruz. What were your thoughts when they resurfaced again? It was a fight which was previously spoken about, and be your take if it goes ahead.
Yeah, it's interesting. His torn bicep. I mean, it's just the kind of person I am. I start to research about them kind of injuries, and seeing that, and speaking to a few physios, and on this torn bicep, you're out for around 4 to 6 months. And he's saying he could spar and whatever again a few weeks later. And some of my team seen him down in Nottingham just before the Kid Gallard Maxi Hughes fight, picking his children up, no problem. So don't think you can do that kind of things if you've got a torn bicep. So don't know if that was just a get out with that fight and save himself another day. Would I be jealous and gutted that I, they fight? Yeah, of course I would, because I've wanted that fight since I beat Zali Selby. I wanted to go win another world title instantly. My fucking first defence was against Carl Frampton. Then after that, I was desperate to fight Eliza Santa Cruz. The amount of meetings at the time when I was Frank Warren and about trying to get that fight happen, it drove me fucking nuts, and it never came off. And he's had a bit of recent success, but I don't want to take too much reward away from him, but he's kind of fell on his feet. I fucking worked hard for a long, long time, and he's like, fucking hell, no, you've missed your opportunity. Alright, I slipped up with my Lara fight, but there was no belt on the line, so I guess I've just got to win this fight on December 10th, and if they do get it on, fight the winner.
Moving away from that and onto one hot topic this week. I know you've spoken very openly in the past about PEDs and drugs within the sport, and we were due to see a big fight tonight, Jr and Conor Benn. That's not taking place due to a positive VADA test on Conor Benn's behalf. Just wanted to get your initial reaction to when you heard the news. What was your thoughts on that?
My initial reaction was gutted. I was gutted at first and shocked as well, if you can put them two emotions together. Just gutted and shocked. Shocked because I didn't ever think that something like that would be found in Conor's system, and gutted because I'm a fan. I've enjoyed watching his rise. Obviously, he's boxed on my undercard. I've gotten to know him personally over the last few years. It's entertaining, isn't it? And when you see stuff like that, you think, fucking hell, and you know how much I go on about drug cheats. You know, I've had the thing with Barry in the past, but it ain't just about Barry, it's any fucking drug cheat. You talk about Canelo and Oscar Valdez. I enjoyed watching Oscar Valdez, even though he was a potential opponent, then you know, what happened with him. So, yeah, gutted and shocked, especially in a fight what has crossed over. It's been on the back page and front page of newspapers. People getting that excited about it. Being on like Good Morning Britain, you know, people who've kind of just maybe come away from boxing are getting interested in again because of they watched the dads years ago, and it gets tarnished with fucking drugs. And obviously, you know, Conor's got to say his piece and come out with statements and stuff like that, but it just doesn't look that good, does it? From the outset, you found with something like that in your system. There's no excuse for it to be in your system. It's not like you've had a certain drink after training and it could have been in there, you know. So again, that's something that instantly, as I seen the news breaking, I got onto the phone, spoke to a few people, people who went high levels of university, you know, not have an idea of them things. Spoke to a few bodybuilders and just they all explained the similar thing. I think what most people have read up about the about Glomid and what it can do and the benefits and stuff. So yeah, I'm devastated. I'm gutted because you start questioning fucking hell. You know how many people in the sport are trying to get an inch, and I'm sure that some people want to win bad, though, that they really want to be. I mean, look at fucking Lance Armstrong in cycling for so many years, but this is an art sport, and we've seen a lot of tragedies in the sport, and you shouldn't be able to. You should be banned if you had something like that and you get caught for something like that, because lives can be lost in this.
Josh, as you say, you know, we are waiting for more information on Conor's behalf and his team, and they have their own right to reply as well. But just sticking with it, it came out that he did his test around the 1st of September. The results came back on the 23rd. Benn's team knew, Jr-Benn Jr.'s team knew, the board knew, everybody involved knew. We didn't know. And then he gets released, obviously, in that Daily Mail article. Do you believe if it wasn't for that article being released, we would have found out, or the fight would have still gone ahead without everybody knowing?
I don't know. I really don't know. And it's laughable, that, innit? It really is laughable. Because, I mean, if a scandal went down and the FA knew about it, you know, in terms of football, do you think they'd just keep quiet about it? You know, with the bollocks. You know, the sport of boxing is beautiful. The sport of boxing is so powerful. The sport of boxing, once it captures a big fight, it captures the world over like floodlight failure, like no other. But when you see stuff like this, and I mean, it's always had a dirty stigma to it, and things like this just don't do it no favours. So some people need to have a fucking long hard look at themselves, and I'm not talking about the fighters here. I'm talking about the organisations who are involved. You know, you gotta be careful what you say, on you, but just saying it in black and white is fucking disgusting. Really, that you were even considered being able to go ahead. What happens if fucking something happens? You know, does it take someone fucking to be in hospital before questions start really being asked and start we making a big thing of it? You know, goes ahead, nothing happens, and it's just swept on the carpet, and it's like, fucking hell, how many of us have been like this? Now, I've been in sport for a long time. I've shaped my life around it. You know, I've sacrificed many things. Not like everyone fucking in the sport has sacrificed. I'm not fucking saying that I'm any special to anyone else, but I know a lot of fighters sacrifice, and I've managed to get myself to a certain level through fucking hard work, and times in gyms when I want to fucking cry my eyes out and do whatever. And throughout the years, as I've got bigger and bigger, a few people have approached with their little inputs, but I've always had a small team around me and know what's right, and what's wrong, and the only fucking way is the hard way, and that's the hard way to the top is fucking by just eating clean and fucking living life. I mean, I've got enrolled into the into the whereabouts a fair few years ago. I enrolled for VADA when I was fighting for WBC International. Fucking have a testers knock on my door at 4:30, 5 in the morning. Sometimes wake kids up when I had fucking newborn kids, but it just is. You know, as annoying as it is, you have to get on with it. There's times after my fights, I don't piss until like fucking 3 hours after my fights. I'm notoriously bad for it. No tester that likes testing me because I fucking always take ages to piss or whatever. But it just is. And, you know, and I don't mind waiting because it has to be done. I'm cautious about fucking what I take in terms of vitamins. You know, I don't. Throughout the years, I don't mind saying, I've been supplied by fucking things like CMP, and all I've ever taken out them is a protein shake. Never ever took like pre-workouts and stuff. I've always believed it's fucking hard work, and resting nutrition should be enough. So yeah, I've seen it's quite strong on it, but it's just fucking how hard this sport is. But I always fucking revert back to that film Icarus. If anyone hadn't seen that the documentary Icarus, you need to have a look on that on Netflix. And really puts things into perspective why people cheat in sport. You know, it's fucking. And I feel like I'm being quite fucking blunt about it, but it is what it is, isn't it? If someone's being found with drugs in the system, then it's cheating. Simple as that.
Right, Josh, we will leave that there now. I'll leave you to shoot off because I know it's probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and my show's run on. But I appreciate you doing this interview. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for speaking to me and ID Boxing.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.